So we're in Texas. Yay, we got here yesterday. Pulled up to the Anderson's house. Taryn came out and said, stop. Caden has a fever. So we sat in the backyard while Taryn and Caden went to the emergency room, and it turns out that Caden is positive with COVID. So kind of change of plans. We are still in Waco. We're getting some barbecue right now. We're gonna see Magnolia, you know, like Chip and Joanna Gaines type stuff. And then tonight go back to the house where we can kind of like social distance and just kind of like talk for a bit, and then we're gonna leave tomorrow. And I think we'll do Austin and San Antonio just because we're here. We made the trek to Texas. Yeah, that's the deal. Total bummer.
Howdy y'all! We just finished visiting the silos in Waco, Texas. There was a little botanical garden, there was a bakery, a home goods store, and then the main highlight of the whole area is the two silos. As you can see, we're driving again, and the reason for that is a text that we have received while we're actually still at the silo area, and what that text entailed and what that did to our plans, I'll have Ashley explain shortly.
Yeah, so Taryn had a headache, and just because Caden tested positive for COVID, she just thought I'll try just in case. So she took a test, and a home test, and it came back positive. So we cut our visit in Waco short, which is really a total bummer, but you know, want to be on the safe side, make sure that they're healthy and quarantined properly. So we are now on our way to Austin, and we're going to stop at a place called Owl Creek Road, which I don't think is anything spectacular, but just a spot where we can hang for tonight, and then we'll continue down to Austin tomorrow. Hello from Austin, Texas. So we're going for a little walk, and we're trying to get to the water down there, as you can see, because it's freaking hot.
There's a lot going on in the water, a lot of stand-up paddleboards, floats, kayaks, and most of the people enjoy the day in the Colorado River is what it's called. Not our Colorado River, the Texas Colorado River.
Our new friend. It's a puppy dog. He's gonna drop it for you. 1, 2, 3. You gotta let go. Grab it out of his hand.
It's raining. It's raining. So we're back out of the water. That was fun. Unfortunately, as we discovered right after we got out of the water, there was a bigger sign that said it's not allowed to swim in the lake because of some algae bloom that may be poisonous, whatever. So we gotta disinfect our throats and our bodies with ice cold alcohol now, which we will. So after we were just denied entrance at the first bar that had live music, we saw a sign posted outside on the second bar. Not allowing anyone under 21. It explicitly said no babies, no exceptions. So
They're targeting us.
They're targeting us, so we didn't even bother trying. That's right, you guessed it. We've been denied entrance to the third place. So we asked the local, and we are headed to a barbecue place, which I think you can already smell something. I don't know if it's that place, but it smells good. We're close to a bridge called Congress Bridge.
Congress Avenue Bridge.
Congress Avenue Bridge, what's going on there later?
So between March and September, at night where it's dusk, right before sunset, there's 1.5 million of these Mexican tail bats that fly out. So I thought it would be kind of fun to see.
How was your barbecue?
Actually, the chicken was fabulous. Very good, very juicy, and a ton of it. Good baked potato.
So what are we doing now?
Now we just got some drinks, and we're gonna go post up at the bridge to watch some bats fly around. After Austin, we made our way south to a small town called New Braunfels. A highlight was listening to live music at the historic Bruno Hall, which is an original German building from the 19th century. It is also the oldest continually operating dance hall in Texas and most famous. Not only did we listen to fun music, but explored the tiny town by visiting the different shops and restaurants, and even took a dip in the Guadalupe River. We had a great time here and would love to come back.
Good morning. So we got kicked out of the parking lot this morning where we were staying for the last couple of nights. So we quickly packed up, started moving, and we're driving into San Antonio today to do the river walk and check that out before it gets real hot. And then we're actually heading back to New Braunfels to spend the rest of the day at the river, and then we're just gonna find a place to sleep for the night just right outside of Braunfels on the way back west to the Big Bend National Park, which is our next big destination.
Welcome to the Alamo. We just went inside. That was the church area. No photography or video, so we're outside checking out the grounds, which is pretty cool.
What is the Alamo?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Let me shed some light here. The Alamo is a historical mission built in 1716 by the Spaniards. After it served its purpose for half a century, ownership was transferred to Mexico after becoming independent from Spain. In the early 19th century, the Battle of the Alamo was fought here between Mexico and US colonists. A rebellion, later known as the Texas Revolution, led to the creation of the independent Republic of Texas. During the Mexican-American War and Civil War, the Alamo was repeatedly used by the military before finally being sold to the state of Texas in the early 20th century. Since then, it has been rebuilt and opened to tourism so everyone can experience this place and its lively past. Howdy y'all! So after we were strolling around exploring the Alamo, which we now know what it is and historically all the background, right?
Yes.
After we've done that, you can see we're now at the river walk. And since it's freaking hot here, and it was around lunchtime anyways, we went into the Rainforest Cafe, which was Lucas's first time. He was afraid of the elephants.
But he loved that.
He did like the lights, he did like the fish and the sound, but the elephants. So now we're gonna continue walking up and down the river walk a little bit. I just called a harvest host, which is not far from here, at a cave that we're hopefully going to get to explore tomorrow. But up until then, we're just gonna continue exploring downtown San Antonio.
Yeah.
You guys. Please elaborate.
So Sebastian said it's Selena, aka Selena. So I guess in the movie Selena, where J-Lo plays Selena, she was on this bridge. So there you go.
Maybe I just feel like I can do anything. I want the whole world dancing in my music and wearing my clothes.
Then that's the case. Guaranteed. Pretty soon everybody's gonna look like Selena.
This is the first time in my life, I swear.
Cheers. So we arrived at our harvest host, which turns out actually to be a campground. A campground at the cave without name. And the cool thing is, I guess since it's Monday, no one besides us is here, so we got a free spot at one of the actual campsites. Van is parked nice in the shade here, so it can cool down, and we're just gonna hang, relax for the rest of the evening, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna walk the cave. And then the river, Guadalupe River, is not too far from here, actually just 7 minutes away, so we may spend a couple of nights here just to relax before we're making our trek westwards again.
Nice, sweet. Hello. Off to the cave. The cave without a name. Which is about a 2-minute walk from here. So, very exciting. You like it when it goes? Yeah.
So that was cool. Literally, that was cool. And impressive and interesting. We saw the beginning of the cave where during Prohibition they were distilling their moonshine. Then we saw where the original 3 kids that found the cave went in and out of the cave. Lucas was extremely chatty the whole time. I don't know if he liked the echo or
It had to have been the echo.
he was just happy to see
Non-stop.
his first cave. He was yelling and screaming and chatting.
Yeah.
That was cool. So now we're outside again and we're going to the river of Guadalupe, where actually the creek down in the cave is ultimately flowing into, and should be nice, relaxing, just hanging out on the water and escaping the heat.
Yeah. Guadalupe River. We found a nice little spot where we've posted up, having some drinks, some snacks, with some music.
Also, I'm building a dam.
How's the dam building going?
Very good. Very good. Found a great spot with some big boulders. Some big boulders. Which is what we need for dam building.
Just hanging out behind Herb Dam. Right?
A man may have changed not only the course of the river today, but perhaps the course of history. Took me 2 hours. Well, at least we can bathe in the what would you call this? The pool?
The pool, yeah. The herb pool.
The herb pool. Anyways, I think this park, this is actually considered a park here in Texas. It's supposed to close at 6 p.m. It's almost 6 p.m. So I think we gotta head out, go back to our campsite, have dinner, shower, all those good things, and then call it a day. See y'all!
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all.
We're still in Texas. We just left the Cave Without a Name camping site, which was really fun. We stayed there for a couple of days. And now we are off to
Big Bend National Park with one stopover about halfway, just to break up the driving a little bit.
because I think the total drive from here to there is about 7 hours, so that's a little long for Lucas.
Wo ist der Lukas? Wo ist der Lukas? Da ist der Lukas! Nochmal? Lukas! Lukas! Wo ist der Lukas? Lukas! Da ist der Lukas!
So after about a 4-hour drive, a little bit longer than that, we made it to our spot. It's a little picnic, scenic area.
Our spot for this night was right above the Pecos River. In historical literature, it was said to be where the mythical Wild West begins. And not only did we stay at a place with significant history, it also turns out to have the highest highway bridge in the state of Texas. Good morning. We just woke up. It was a little rough night. The van for some reason didn't want to cool down, even though it was nice and cool outside. The van for some reason retained the heat from driving in the sun all day, so it was a hot night, but oh well. And once again, a whole lot of nothing. So much so that this area ranks number 6 of places in the US that are farthest away from the next metro area. Running into any mechanical issues out here, especially during the hot summer months, can turn into a serious problem very quickly. So let's just hope for the best and keep on driving.
Hello there. We made it to Big Bend, filling up on water, and now headed to our site where we're gonna eat lunch because Lucas is definitely hungry. Been slowly giving him graham crackers, little bunny crackers, to appease him. Here. So we're just, so basically we're at the border of US and Mexico, and on the other side of Mexico is there a little town called Boquiles, and we just tried to see if we could cross the border, and it's closed right now. So people from Mexico, go across the river, leave their stuff, and ask for donations if you take anything. And so it looks like they're just kind of waiting over there and seeing if anyone takes anything. Which Lucas was really interested in everything. He just wants to touch it all, but you know, it's glass, so can't do that.
Mm-hmm. What's that? It's art from Mexico, huh? Is it art from Mexico? From the other side of the river? There is actually an official border crossing that used to be open, where you could cross the border. Then on the other side you could ride with mules or horses to the little town. They have a restaurant and a bar, so you could get your Mexico experience and then ride back and cross back into the US. But as Ashley mentioned, unfortunately this border crossing is closed. Right? I don't know if it's right now or permanently. So down here there's no legal way to get into Mexico.
So we're on our way up the Boquias Canyon Trail, and I guess it kind of, well, you go up so you get a cool view, and then it also takes you down to the river, or yeah. So we'll see how far we go in our, you know, high-end hiking shoes. To the canyons. To the canyons.
What is that?
Your shirt. Although it's kind of got an 80s vibe.
What is it supposed to do?
Protect your skin from the sun.
How do you like that, buddy?
Rinsing off because it's really hot.
Rinsing off, or is it an actual shower?
I guess it's a shower. I use some soap. Wash my face. It's a big day. Good morning. So we just left our campsite in Big Bend and we're headed to the west side where we're going to check out, there's a scenic drive and another campsite which we might check out to see if we'll stay another night, which it seems more like we're going to just power through and drive the long stretch to New Mexico today. Because really there's no place to break it up where it won't be miserably hot. So that's the plan for today, and just a lot of driving.
So just to show you that on the map, this is the entrance where we came from yesterday, and we stayed here on the west side of the park, and we drove earlier all the way back here, the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive. And from here, from down here, from the San Anela Canyon, we're taking the Old Maverick Road here back to the exit of the park. It's about 30 miles, should take us about an hour. Yes, you heard that right. 1 hour for 13 miles. The old Maverick Road is a dirt road traversing this side of the park from north to south. Although it is easy to drive, it is heavily washboarded and has some rough patches, so we had to take it real slow. Finally back on pavement, we kept driving to New Mexico. Saw a random roadside attraction and a rocket launch site in the middle of the desert. See you next time in New Mexico.